The Sculptor's Journey, a tale of patience and perseverance. The Whispering Rock. In a charming village nestled between rolling hills and lush green forests, there lived a talented sculptor named Elara. Her workshop, a cozy little building made of sun-kissed wood and stone, was filled with the soft scent of freshly carved stone and the gentle clinking of her tools. Elara had a deep love for her craft, spending countless hours transforming raw pieces of stone into beautiful sculptures. Each creation was like a piece of her heart, and she poured her soul into every stroke of her chisel. One sunny morning, as the birds chirped cheerfully and the flowers danced in the warm breeze, Elara decided to take a stroll through the forest to gather inspiration. The forest was a magical place, where the trees whispered secrets and the sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating shimmering patterns on the forest floor. Elara often found herself enchanted by the beauty of nature, and today was no exception. As she wandered deeper into the woods, she stumbled upon a hidden glen, a spot so serene that it felt like stepping into a dream. In the center of the glen lay a large rock, unlike any she had ever seen. It was smooth and glimmering, almost as if it were alive. As she approached, Elara could swear she heard a soft whispering sound, like the rock was trying to speak to her. Curiosity bubbled within her as she knelt down beside the rock. "What are you trying to tell me?" she whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. To her surprise, the whispering grew louder, filling her heart with a sense of warmth and connection. It was as if the rock held stories of the earth, waiting for someone to uncover them. Elara felt a tug at her heart, a calling that urged her to take the rock back to her workshop. With great care, she wrapped the rock in her scarf and carried it home. The village was bustling with life as she walked back, the villagers greeting her with smiles and waves. But her mind was filled with visions of what this beautiful rock could become. Would it be a statue of a graceful dancer? Perhaps a proud lion? The possibilities danced in her imagination like the rays of sunlight through the trees. When she finally arrived at her workshop, Elara gently set the rock down in the center of her workspace, surrounded by her tools and sketches. She took a moment to admire it, feeling the energy it radiated. "You are going to be something special," she promised, her heart brimming with excitement. Elara spent the next few days sketching and planning, envisioning the masterpiece that would emerge from the stone. But when she finally picked up her chisel and hammer to begin, her enthusiasm quickly turned to frustration. Each time she struck the rock, a piece would chip away unexpectedly, leaving behind rough edges and unsightly shapes. "Why won't you cooperate?" Elara exclaimed one afternoon, throwing her hands up in the air. The whispers seemed to fade, and she felt a pang of disappointment deep within her. She had imagined this moment so differently, full of joy and triumph, but instead, she found herself feeling lost and confused. Days turned into weeks as Elara struggled with the rock. No matter how hard she tried, the statue remained elusive. The villagers began to notice her frustration, and while some offered words of encouragement, others shared their own advice, each one more confusing than the last. Elara felt overwhelmed, drowning in a sea of opinions and suggestions. As the sun set one evening, casting a golden hue over the village, she sat in her workshop, staring at the imperfect rock. "Maybe it's time to give up," she sighed, her heart heavy with doubt. But deep inside, a small voice whispered, urging her to stay. What if the rock held secrets that she had yet to uncover? What if it was trying to teach her something important? With a sigh of resignation, Elara took a step back from the stone and closed her eyes. In that moment of stillness, she felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. Perhaps the rock was not just a block of stone, perhaps it was a teacher, guiding her on a journey of patience and perseverance. Elara resolved to listen, to learn from the whispers of the rock, and to embrace the challenges ahead. Little did she know that this was only the beginning of a beautiful adventure that would change her life forever. The first attempts. With the sun rising over the village, Elara awoke with renewed determination. She felt a sense of excitement tingling in her fingers as she envisioned the beautiful statue she could create from the mysterious rock. Today would be different. Today, she would embrace the journey ahead. After a quick breakfast of warm bread and honey, Elara rushed to her workshop, her heart pounding with anticipation. She carefully positioned the rock on her workbench, marveling at its smooth surface. "Let's see what you can become," she said with a smile, picking up her chisel and hammer. Elara began to carve, her hands moving swiftly as she imagined the graceful figure taking shape. She felt the rhythm of the chisel as it struck the rock, echoing in the quiet workshop. But as the first chip flew away, she felt a pang of disappointment. Instead of the elegant curve she had envisioned, the stone remained rough and unyielding. Undeterred, she pressed on. With every strike of her hammer, she felt a mixture of hope and frustration. Elara spent hours working tirelessly, sweat beading on her brow, but each attempt seemed to lead to further complications. Instead of revealing a statue, the rock appeared to resist her efforts, each chip revealing more flaws and rough edges. "Why won't you cooperate?" Elara exclaimed, her voice echoing in the silence of the workshop. The whispering sound from the rock had faded, leaving her feeling alone in her struggle. She took a step back, crossing her arms in frustration as she stared at the block of stone, which seemed to mock her with its imperfections. Days passed, and her initial excitement began to wane. The villagers continued to visit her workshop, drawn by the sounds of her chiseling, and each time they saw her, they offered encouragement. "Elara, your work is beautiful," one villager exclaimed, but Elara could only manage a weak smile. They saw her efforts as progress, but all she felt was defeat. One afternoon, as Elara attempted yet another stroke, she accidentally struck the rock too hard. A large chunk flew off, landing on the floor with a loud thud. She gasped, her heart sinking. "What am I doing wrong?" she wondered aloud, feeling a tear welling in her eye. The frustration was overwhelming, and the whispers that had once filled her heart seemed to fade into the background, leaving her feeling lost and alone. Perhaps this rock wasn't meant to be transformed. Maybe she was simply not cut out to be the artist she had always dreamed of being. With a heavy heart, Elara decided to take a walk to clear her mind. As she strolled through the village, she noticed the vibrant colors of the flowers blooming in the gardens and the laughter of children playing nearby. It was a beautiful day, but she felt an ache inside, a longing to create something meaningful. As she walked, she stumbled upon a group of children gathered around an old man, their eyes wide with wonder. The man was the village elder, known for his wise stories and gentle nature. Intrigued, Elara paused to listen, drawn in by the warmth of his voice. "Patience is a treasure," the elder said, his eyes twinkling. "Every great creation takes time, just like a flower blooming in spring. You cannot rush the process. Sometimes, it takes a few storms before the sun can shine." Elara felt a flicker of hope as she listened to the elder's words. They resonated with her struggles and reminded her of the importance of patience. Perhaps the rock was not meant to be sculpted in a day. Maybe it was teaching her something valuable. Inspired by the elder's story, Elara returned to her workshop with a new perspective. She picked up her tools and looked at the rock, now feeling like a partner in her creative journey rather than an enemy. "Let's take our time," she whispered to the stone. "We'll figure this out together." With renewed determination, Elara began again, but this time, she approached her work with a sense of curiosity rather than pressure. She studied the rock carefully, examining its shape and texture, allowing her imagination to flow freely. Instead of forcing the creation, she began to listen to the rock, feeling the energy it radiated. With each gentle strike, she focused on shaping the stone with love and intention. The chisel moved gracefully across the surface, and for the first time, she felt a sense of connection with the rock. It was as if the stone was sharing its secrets with her, guiding her hands. As the days went by, Elara's confidence grew. The statue began to take shape, a delicate figure emerging from the once rough stone. She could see the beauty hidden within, and each day, she looked forward to the new surprises that awaited her. Elara's heart swelled with pride as she worked. Each strike of her chisel became a dance, a rhythm that echoed the whispers of the rock. It was no longer just a block of stone, it was a living entity, a partner in her artistic journey. Together, they were creating something magical, and with that realization, Elara felt a deep sense of peace. A lesson from the elder. Elara awoke the next morning with the sun streaming through her workshop window, illuminating her tools and the partially sculpted rock. The gentle warmth of the day filled her with a renewed sense of purpose. After a quick breakfast, she returned to her workbench, eager to continue shaping her creation. As she picked up her chisel, however, her thoughts drifted back to the village elder's words from the day before. "Patience is a treasure," he had said, and those words echoed in her mind. Determined to seek the elder's wisdom further, Elara decided to visit him. She left her workshop, the air fresh and fragrant with the scent of blooming flowers, and walked through the village. As she approached the elder's cottage, nestled among vibrant gardens, she felt a flutter of anticipation in her heart. She hoped he could help her understand the lessons hidden within the rock. The elder was seated on his porch, basking in the warm sun, surrounded by children who listened intently as he recounted tales of old. Elara stood quietly, waiting for a moment to speak. When the children finally scampered off, she stepped forward, her heart racing. "Excuse me, elder," she said softly, her voice barely above a whisper. "I've been struggling with my sculpture. I wanted to ask you about patience and perseverance. Can you help me understand?" The elder looked at her with kind, twinkling eyes. "Ah, my dear Elara, the path of an artist is often fraught with challenges. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about how you wait. It's about learning to embrace the journey." Elara listened intently as the elder began to share stories from his own youth, tales of hardships and victories that shaped him into the wise man he was today. "When I was your age, I dreamed of creating a magnificent garden. I planted seeds and watered them daily, but they took so long to grow. There were days I felt like giving up. Yet, every time I returned to the garden, I would find something new, a sprout pushing through the soil or a flower starting to bloom. Those moments taught me that every effort counts, even when the results are not immediately visible." Elara felt her heart swell as she absorbed his words. "So, you're saying that even if it feels like I'm not making progress, every small effort is important?" she asked, eager for clarity. "Exactly, the elder replied, nodding. Each chisel strike you make is like watering your garden. You may not see the full bloom right away, but trust that growth is happening beneath the surface. Keep nurturing your vision, and soon enough, you will see the beauty unfold. Inspired by the elder's wisdom, Elara took a deep breath. She realized that her frustrations stemmed from her desire for instant results. The journey of creation was about exploration and discovery, not just the final product. Thank you, Elder. Your stories mean so much to me, she said, her voice filled with gratitude. The elder smiled warmly. Remember, Elara, the greatest masterpieces are often born from perseverance. Don't rush the process, instead, savor every moment of your creation. And if you ever feel lost, just come back to me. I am always here to share more stories. With newfound inspiration, Elara made her way back to her workshop. The sun hung high in the sky, illuminating her path and filling her heart with a sense of hope. As she entered her workshop, she felt an urge to connect with the rock again. Let's embrace this journey together, she whispered, placing her hands gently on its surface. She picked up her tools with a new sense of purpose, determined to honor the rock's essence. Instead of rushing, she took her time, letting her intuition guide her. With each careful stroke of her chisel, she felt the energy of the rock flowing through her, revealing its hidden beauty. It was as if the stone was responding to her touch, whispering encouragement as she carved. Days turned into weeks as Elara poured her heart and soul into the statue. The process was no longer a source of frustration, it became a dance of creativity. She experimented with different techniques, allowing her imagination to flow freely. The rock transformed under her careful hands, revealing the graceful figure she had always envisioned. As she worked, she often thought of the elder's words, finding comfort in the notion that each chip and curve was a step toward her dream. The whispers that had once faded now filled the workshop, guiding her hands and heart. It felt as though the rock was alive, sharing its secrets and stories with her. One evening, as the sun began to set and bathe the workshop in a warm golden light, Elara took a step back to admire her progress. The statue had come to life, its form a beautiful blend of strength and grace. She couldn't help but smile, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over her. With renewed hope and excitement, Elara realized that her journey with the rock was not just about creating a sculpture, it was about discovering herself and the power of perseverance. She was learning to trust the process and to embrace the beauty of each moment. As she prepared to leave her workshop that evening, Elara felt a surge of gratitude for the lessons she had learned. The rock was more than a block of stone, it was a companion on her journey, teaching her patience, creativity, and resilience. With a heart full of hope, she whispered to the rock, "Thank you for being my guide." The transformation begins. As the days turned into weeks, Elara's workshop became a haven of creativity and inspiration. The once rough block of stone was now evolving into a graceful figure, each chisel stroke bringing her vision closer to reality. The whispers of the rock filled the air, guiding her hands as she transformed it into something beautiful. Elara found herself lost in the rhythm of her work, often forgetting to eat or rest as she poured her heart and soul into the statue. Each day brought new surprises, and with each chip that fell away, she felt a deeper connection with the rock. It was as if the stone was revealing not just its form, but also a part of itself, its essence, through her careful hands. One bright morning, as she worked, a familiar voice interrupted her concentration. It was Lena, a spirited young girl from the village, with bright eyes and boundless energy. Elara! Elara! Lena called, rushing into the workshop. Can I watch you today? I want to see the magic happen. Elara smiled warmly at the girl. Of course, Lena. Come and see. She motioned for Lena to join her at the workbench. The girl's enthusiasm was contagious, and Elara loved sharing her passion with the villagers, especially the younger ones who reminded her of her own childhood dreams. As Lena settled in beside her, Elara resumed her work. What do you think it will be? Lena asked, her eyes wide with wonder. Is it a princess? A fairy? Oh, I can't wait to find out. Elara chuckled, her heart lightening. I think it will be something strong and graceful, maybe a dancer. But what do you see? She handed Lena a small chisel and showed her how to gently tap the stone. Every little detail matters. Lena's eyes sparkled as she carefully followed Elara's instructions, excitedly chipping away at the rock. Look! I made a little curve, she exclaimed, beaming with pride. Elara watched, delighted by the girl's enthusiasm. It reminded her of the joy she felt when she first started sculpting. Exactly. That's perfect. Elara encouraged, feeling her heart swell with happiness. Together, they spent the morning working on the statue, Lena's laughter mingling with the sounds of chiseling and tapping. Each moment was filled with joy and exploration, and Elara cherished the opportunity to inspire the young girl. As they sculpted, Lena began to ask questions. How did you know how to make it look so real? She inquired, her small hands working diligently on the rock. Did you always know you wanted to be a sculptor? Elara paused, contemplating her response. Well, I didn't always know, but I loved art from a young age. I would watch my father carve wood and create beautiful furniture, and I wanted to create something just as magical. But it took time, patience, and practice to get here. Lena listened intently, soaking in every word. Do you ever get scared that it won't be good enough? She asked, her voice filled with innocence. Elara smiled softly, remembering her own struggles. Sometimes, yes. But I've learned that it's okay to make mistakes. Each mistake is a chance to learn and grow. The important thing is to keep trying and never give up on what you love. Lena nodded, her expression thoughtful. So it's like my dance class. I fall sometimes, but I get back up and keep dancing. Exactly. Elara said, her heart glowing with pride. Every dance step teaches you something, just like each chisel strike teaches me about sculpting. As the day turned into afternoon, the two worked side by side, laughter echoing through the workshop. Lena's energy breathed new life into Elara's work, reminding her of the joy that comes from creating art together. The bond between them deepened, and Elara felt grateful for the girl's presence, which brought a sense of lightness and fun to her artistic journey. After a long day of work, Elara took a step back to admire their progress. The statue was coming to life, its graceful form slowly emerging from the stone, each curve and detail telling a story of perseverance and hope. Look how beautiful it is! Lena exclaimed, her eyes shining with admiration. You're like a magic maker, Elara. Elara smiled, her heart warm. Thank you, Lena. But remember, it's not just me. It's all about the process and the joy we share in creating together. Feeling inspired by their collaborative effort, Elara decided to invite Lena back to the workshop every week. Together, they would explore the art of sculpting, and Lena's youthful curiosity would keep the spark of creativity alive in Elara's heart. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of pink and orange, Elara felt a profound sense of gratitude for the lessons she had learned so far. The journey with the rock had transformed her understanding of art and life itself. It was no longer just about achieving perfection, it was about embracing every moment, every mistake, and every small victory along the way. That evening, as she finished cleaning up her tools, Elara looked at the statue and smiled. "Thank you for being my partner on this journey," she whispered to the rock. "Together, we are creating something magical." A challenge unveiled. With each passing week, Elara and Lena formed a joyful routine in the workshop, working side by side to bring the statue to life. Lena's enthusiasm reignited Elara's passion, and together they transformed the once rough block of stone into a magnificent figure that began to embody the spirit of grace and strength. One sunny morning, Elara entered the workshop to find Lena already there, her small hands eager to begin their day of sculpting. "Good morning, Elara. I have an idea," Lena exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. "What is it, Lena?" Elara asked, curious about the girl's boundless creativity. "What if we add some flowers around the statue? We can carve them into the base," Lena suggested, bouncing on her toes. Elara's heart warmed at the thought. "That's a wonderful idea. Flowers would add a beautiful touch and bring even more life to our creation." As they set to work, Lena drew sketches of the flowers they could incorporate into the statue's base, her tiny hands moving quickly across the parchment. Elara admired Lena's imagination, which inspired her own creativity as they discussed various designs. Together, they chose blossoms that symbolized beauty, hope, and resilience, each flower representing a piece of their shared journey. The pair spent the next few days carving intricate petals and delicate stems around the statue. The workshop was filled with laughter and chatter, and Elara felt an overwhelming sense of joy as she watched Lena's skills grow. With each flower they added, the statue seemed to come alive, as if it were dancing among a garden of dreams. However, as they worked, Elara began to notice subtle changes in the rock. Some sections felt softer, while others seemed harder to carve. At first, she dismissed it as a minor inconvenience, but as the days passed, the challenges intensified. The chisel would sometimes bounce off the stone instead of gliding through, and Elara found herself struggling to maintain the delicate balance of her design. One afternoon, as she attempted to carve a particularly intricate flower, her chisel slipped, causing a deep groove to mar the statue's surface. Elara's heart sank, and she felt frustration bubble to the surface. "Why is this happening?" she lamented, her hands trembling with disappointment. Lena, sensing Elara's distress, paused and looked up. "Elara, it's okay. We can fix it. Just like you taught me, we can learn from our mistakes." Elara sighed, trying to embrace Lena's optimism, but the weight of her frustration pressed heavily on her heart. "But I want it to be perfect, Lena. I can't help but feel like I'm letting the rock down." "Maybe the rock is teaching us something new," Lena suggested cheerfully, her innocence shining brightly. "Sometimes things don't go the way we want, but that's okay. Look, I made a mistake once when dancing, but I turned it into a new move." Elara chuckled, her heart lightening slightly. "You're right. It's all part of the journey. We can't expect everything to go perfectly." They decided to take a break, stepping outside to enjoy the warm sunshine. As they sat on the grass, watching the clouds drift lazily by, Elara took a moment to reflect. Lena's enthusiasm reminded her of the importance of flexibility and creativity, and that sometimes challenges could lead to unexpected beauty. "I guess I need to be more like you, Lena," Elara admitted. "To embrace mistakes and turn them into something new. After all, art is about expressing ourselves, not just achieving perfection." With a newfound resolve, Elara returned to the workshop with Lena, determined to approach their work with a fresh perspective. "Let's see what we can do to make that groove work for us," she said, smiling at Lena. "Maybe we can turn it into something beautiful." Together, they brainstormed ideas for incorporating the imperfection into their design. With Lena's creative spirit and Elara's artistic vision, they came up with a plan to transform the groove into the base of a flower, giving it a unique twist. The next few days were filled with renewed energy as they adapted their vision. Elara found herself inspired by Lena's approach to challenges, realizing that imperfections could lead to unexpected beauty in their creation. As they carved and shaped the rock, the statue blossomed with life, its unique features telling a story of resilience and hope. By the end of the week, the statue was almost complete. The flowers bloomed beautifully around its base, and the graceful figure stood tall, embodying both elegance and strength. Elara felt a surge of pride as she looked at their work, a beautiful testament to their journey together. One afternoon, while cleaning up, Elara caught a glimpse of the statue under the soft golden light of the setting sun. It was breathtaking. Each curve and flower radiated beauty and passion. She turned to Lena, her heart swelling with gratitude. "Thank you, Lena. I couldn't have done this without you." Lena beamed, her smile brightening the room. "We did it together. Just like a team." Elara nodded, knowing that their shared journey had transformed her approach to art. She understood now that challenges were not setbacks, but rather opportunities for growth and creativity. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the workshop, Elara felt a sense of peace settle over her. The rock had taught her lessons beyond sculpting. It had shown her the beauty of collaboration and the power of embracing imperfections. "Let's celebrate our progress," Elara said, reaching for a small basket of freshly baked cookies she had prepared earlier. "We deserve a treat after all this hard work." The two shared cookies and laughter, their bond growing even stronger. They spoke of their dreams, hopes, and what the future might hold for their art. In that moment, Elara knew she had found a true friend in Lena, someone who inspired her to see the world through a lens of possibility and joy. The Festival of Art. As the days passed and the statue neared completion, excitement buzzed through the village. The annual Festival of Art was approaching, an event where artists showcased their creations and celebrated their craft. Elara had always dreamed of displaying her work at this festival, and now, with her statue nearly complete, she felt a surge of hope and anticipation. One crisp morning, as the sun painted the sky in soft pastels, Elara and Lena entered the workshop, ready to put the finishing touches on their creation. "This is our moment," Lena exclaimed, her eyes sparkling. "We'll show everyone what we've created together." Elara smiled, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. "Yes, it is. But remember, it's not just about winning or impressing anyone. It's about sharing our journey and celebrating the beauty of art." They spent the next next few days carefully polishing the statue, adding intricate details to the flowers and perfecting the curves of the figure. The atmosphere in the workshop was filled with joy and laughter, and every evening, they would step back to admire their progress. Each time they saw the statue, Elara felt a growing sense of pride and connection to her creation. As the festival drew closer, the village buzzed with preparations. Colorful banners were hung, booths were set up, and villagers excitedly planned for the big day. Elara could feel the energy in the air and found herself swept up in the excitement. On the morning of the festival, the sun shone brightly, illuminating the village in a golden glow. Elara and Lena arrived early, hauling the statue on a wooden cart decorated with flowers. The villagers greeted them with smiles and cheers as they set up their display in the town square. Lena clapped her hands in delight. "Look at all the people. They're going to love it." Elara felt her heart flutter with nerves and anticipation. "I hope so. But remember, Lena, the most important thing is to enjoy the moment and share what we've learned." As the festival began, artists from all around the village displayed their works, paintings, sculptures, pottery, and vibrant textiles. The air was filled with laughter, music, and the delightful aromas of food from various stalls. Elara and Lena watched as children danced, and families shared stories, all celebrating the joy of creativity. Soon, it was time for the judges to walk through the displays. Elara's heart raced as she watched them approach. They admired the various artworks, engaging with the artists and discussing their inspirations. When the judges finally reached Elara and Lena's display, she took a deep breath, reminding herself to enjoy the moment. "Wow, what a beautiful statue," one of the judges exclaimed, her eyes widening in amazement. "Tell us about your inspiration." Elara stepped forward, her voice steady as she shared the story of her journey with the rock, the lessons of patience and perseverance, and the joy of collaborating with Lena. "This statue represents not just my work, but also the bond we formed while creating it," she explained, glancing at Lena, who was beaming with pride. Lena chimed in excitedly, "And we added flowers because they remind us of hope and beauty. Every flower has a story, just like our friendship." The judges nodded, clearly touched by the heartfelt narrative behind the statue. "It's a wonderful tribute to both your artistry and your friendship," one of the judges said. "You've poured your hearts into this piece." As the judges moved on to the next display, Elara felt a wave of relief wash over her. She had shared her story, and that was what mattered most. The festival continued, with music and laughter filling the air, and Elara felt a sense of joy in being part of something bigger than herself. As the day wore on, Elara and Lena enjoyed the festivities, participating in games, tasting delicious treats, and marveling at the creativity of the other artists. They shared stories with fellow villagers, connecting through their shared love of art. When the time came for the awards ceremony, Elara's heart raced with excitement. The townspeople gathered around the stage, eager to hear the results. The mayor stepped forward, a broad smile on his face, as he announced the winners for various categories. "Today, we celebrate the creativity and hard work of our talented artists," he began, his voice booming over the crowd. "But one piece has truly captured our hearts, a symbol of friendship, perseverance, and the beauty of nature." Elara's breath caught in her throat as she held Lena's hand tightly. "What if we don't win?" she whispered, her heart pounding. "Whatever happens, we did our best," Lena replied, her eyes shining with determination. The mayor continued, and the award for Best Sculpture goes to Elara and Lena for their stunning creation, Dance of the Flowers. The crowd erupted in applause, and Elara felt tears of joy welling in her eyes. She could hardly believe it. The two girls rushed onto the stage, where the mayor presented them with a beautifully crafted trophy. "Thank you. Thank you so much," Elara exclaimed, her heart swelling with pride. "This is for everyone who believed in us and supported us along the way." As they accepted their award, Elara felt a deep sense of gratitude wash over her. The statue represented not just her artistic journey but also the bond she had forged with Lena, the lessons learned from the rock, and the support of their community. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the village, Elara and Lena stood together, looking out at the joyful celebration around them. They had not only created a beautiful piece of art but also a memory that would last a lifetime. In that moment, Elara realized that art was about more than just the final product. It was about the connections made, the stories shared, and the journey taken together. "I'm so proud of us, Lena," Elara said, hugging her friend tightly. "We did it together." Lena beamed, her eyes filled with joy. "Yes. And this is just the beginning." The unexpected storm. The Festival of Art had filled Elara and Lena's hearts with joy, and the villagers spoke of their creation for weeks to come. The statue, a symbol of friendship and perseverance, had become a cherished part of the community. Yet, as the seasons changed, so too did the challenges that lay ahead. One afternoon, after a week filled with laughter and continued success, Elara and Lena returned to the workshop, eager to begin a new project inspired by their recent victory. "What if we create a mural together?" Lena suggested, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "We could paint all the beautiful flowers and animals we love." Elara's heart swelled at the idea. "That sounds wonderful, Lena. A mural could bring color and joy to the village, just like our statue did." They began sketching ideas, their imaginations flowing freely, each stroke of the pencil filled with vibrant colors and dreams. But as they worked, dark clouds began to gather outside, gradually obscuring the sun. The air grew thick with anticipation, and Elara felt a shiver run down her spine. "It looks like a storm is coming," she said, glancing out the window. Lena's face fell as she looked outside. "Do you think it will rain?" she asked, worry creeping into her voice. "I hope not, but we should probably be cautious," Elara replied, feeling a sense of unease settle over her. "Let's finish our sketches and then secure the workshop just in case." As they hurriedly completed their drawings, the wind picked up, howling through the trees outside. Elara secured the windows and doors, trying to remain calm, while Lena helped gather their supplies. The workshop, once filled with laughter and excitement, now felt heavy with tension. Suddenly, a loud crack of thunder shook the air, followed by a brilliant flash of lightning that illuminated the room. Elara's heart raced as she turned to Lena, who was trembling with fear. "It's okay, Lena," Elara said, kneeling down to meet her friend's gaze. "We're safe inside. Let's focus on our drawings and imagine all the beautiful things we can create." Just as Elara spoke, the storm unleashed its fury. Rain poured down in torrents, drumming against the roof with a deafening roar. The wind howled like a wild beast, shaking the very walls of the workshop. The sound was overwhelming, and Elara felt her heart pound in rhythm with the storm outside. "Do you think the statue will be okay?" Lena asked, her voice barely audible above the storm's cacophony. Elara's heart sank at the thought. "I hope so. We'll check on it as soon as the storm calms down," she reassured Lena, trying to keep her own fears at bay. As the storm raged on, Elara and Lena did their best to distract themselves. They huddled together, telling stories, and sharing their dreams of what they would paint on the mural. With each tale, the bond between them grew stronger, providing warmth amidst the chaos outside. After what felt like hours, the storm finally began to ease. The thunder rumbled in the distance, and the rain became a gentle patter against the roof. Elara sighed in relief, feeling the weight on her chest lift slightly. "Let's go check on the statue," she said, standing up and looking at Lena. With a cautious determination, they stepped outside, the fresh scent of rain in the air. The ground was muddy, and puddles formed in every direction, but they pressed on toward the town square where their statue stood proudly. As they reached the square, the sight of their creation filled them with awe. The statue remained intact, though some water dripped from the flowers, glistening in the dim light. "It looks beautiful," Lena exclaimed, running up to touch the cool stone. The rain gave it a bath. Elara smiled, relief flooding her heart. "You're right, Lena. It looks even more magical now." But as she inspected the statue more closely, she noticed something unusual. The base of the statue, where they had carved the flowers, had been slightly eroded by the heavy rain. "Oh no!" Elara gasped, feeling a pang of worry. "I didn't think about how the rain could affect the sculpture. We need to take care of this." Lena looked concerned. "What should we do?" she asked, her eyes wide with worry. Elara took a deep breath, trying to remain calm. "We'll need to repair the base and ensure the flowers are secure. This is just another challenge, and we can overcome it together." They set to work, carefully inspecting each flower and the surrounding stone. The rain had left its mark, but Elara felt a newfound determination rising within her. "Mistakes happen, just like with our statue," she said, recalling their earlier lessons. "We can fix this and make it even better than before." With Lena's help, Elara carefully reshaped the base, reinforcing the flowers and adding new details to the design. They worked tirelessly, their hands covered in mud and stone dust, but their spirits remained high. Each touch of their hands was filled with purpose, transforming the challenge into an opportunity for creativity. After hours of hard work, they finally stepped back to admire their efforts. The statue looked as beautiful as ever, even more vibrant after their repairs. "We did it!" Lena cheered, clapping her hands in delight. Elara smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "Yes, we did. This storm taught us to be resilient and to adapt. Our art can endure challenges, just like us." As they headed back to the workshop, the sun began to peek through the clouds, casting a soft glow over the village. Elara felt grateful for the lessons they had learned through the storm and the power of their friendship. "We'll use this experience to inspire our mural," she said, glancing at Lena. "Let's create something that captures the beauty of resilience." Lena nodded enthusiastically, her eyes shining with excitement. "I can't wait." We're going to make something amazing. A new beginning. With the storm behind them, Elara and Lena returned to the workshop, energized by their recent challenges and triumphs. The experience had taught them invaluable lessons about resilience, creativity, and the importance of their friendship. As they settled back into their routine, their excitement for the mural grew. "Let's start our mural today," Lena suggested, her voice filled with enthusiasm. "We can make it as colorful and beautiful as the flowers in the garden." Elara smiled, feeling a sense of inspiration wash over her. "Yes. We can include all the things we love, the flowers, animals, and even the statue. It will be a celebration of our journey." They began sketching the mural on the large canvas they had prepared, drawing inspiration from the vibrant colors of the flowers and the joyous energy of the village. They worked side by side, each stroke of the brush reflecting their creativity and passion. The workshop was soon filled with laughter and chatter as they painted scenes of nature, friendship, and the beauty of their community. As they painted, the mural began to take shape, a dazzling garden filled with blooming flowers, butterflies dancing in the air, and the statue standing proudly amidst it all. Elara felt a deep connection to their work, realizing that each element represented a piece of their journey together. "Look! This butterfly represents the freedom we found through our art," Lena said, pointing at a particularly colorful creation. "And the flowers remind us of hope." Elara nodded, her heart swelling with pride. "And the statue is a symbol of our friendship and the lessons we've learned. It all comes together beautifully." Days turned into weeks as they continued to paint, pouring their hearts into the mural. The village watched in awe as the vibrant colors began to come to life on the canvas. Each day, more villagers came by to see their progress, cheering them on and sharing their own stories of resilience and creativity. One sunny afternoon, as they were adding the final touches to the mural, Elara and Lena stood back to admire their work. The mural was a breathtaking celebration of their journey, a visual representation of the bond they had forged through art and shared experiences. "I can't believe we did this," Elara said, her eyes glistening with tears of joy. "It's more beautiful than I ever imagined." Lena beamed, her heart bursting with pride. "We really did it together. Just like the statue, this mural is a testament to our friendship and creativity." As they completed the last strokes, Elara felt a sense of accomplishment unlike any she had ever experienced. They had transformed their challenges into beauty, and their friendship had grown stronger through it all. Later that week, the village organized a special unveiling ceremony to celebrate the mural. The town square was filled with villagers eager to see the finished masterpiece. Colorful banners fluttered in the breeze, and laughter filled the air as everyone gathered to honor Elara and Lena's incredible work. As they stood on a small stage, the mayor welcomed the crowd. "Today, we celebrate not only the stunning mural but also the friendship and dedication that brought it to life. Elara and Lena, you have reminded us all of the beauty of community, resilience, and creativity." Elara felt her heart swell with pride as the crowd erupted into applause. She glanced at Lena, who was bouncing on her toes, her face beaming with joy. They had worked hard, and now their art was being celebrated by the entire village. When the curtain was pulled away, gasps of amazement filled the square. The mural sparkled in the sunlight, showcasing the vibrant colors and intricate details that Elara and Lena had poured into it. The flowers seemed to dance, the butterflies fluttered, and the statue stood tall in the center, embodying the spirit of hope and friendship. As the villagers admired the mural, Elara felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. She had not only created a beautiful piece of art, but had also formed lasting connections within the community. The mural was a reminder of what they could accomplish together when they embraced creativity and supported one another. After the ceremony, many villagers approached Elara and Lena to express their admiration. "This is truly a masterpiece. You've captured the spirit of our village beautifully," one elder said, her eyes shining with pride. Elara and Lena exchanged delighted glances, their hearts full. "Thank you so much," Elara replied, overwhelmed by the warmth of the community. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the village, Elara felt a sense of fulfillment and hope. She had learned that art was not just about the final product. It was about the journey, the challenges, and the friendships that blossomed along the way. "Where do we go from here?" Lena asked, her eyes twinkling with curiosity. Elara thought for a moment, imagining all the possibilities that lay ahead. "There's so much more we can create. We can continue to inspire others through our art and maybe even start new projects together." Lena jumped up and down in excitement. "Yes! We can host workshops for other kids to learn about art and friendship." "That's a fantastic idea!" Elara exclaimed, her heart racing with inspiration. "Together, we can create a space where everyone can explore their creativity and share their stories." As they stood together, looking out at the mural and the joyful village, Elara knew that this was just the beginning of their artistic journey. The lessons they had learned and the bond they had forged would carry them forward, inspiring not just themselves but everyone around them. Hand in hand, Elara and Lena walked home that evening, filled with dreams of what the future could hold. The world was a canvas waiting for them, and they were ready to paint it with their hopes, their creativity, and their unwavering friendship.
Whispering